Hi everyone and welcome to Club 4 episode 17 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM22 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we are just about to start the second phase of our league campaign. The top six have broken away into a new group to finish off playing each other for the rest of the season to see who wins the title. But we're going to be dealing with that in the next episode. Today, we are in the Nathaniel MG Cup Final, the secondary cup competition here in Wales. And we've got a second division opposition to play. Surely this is ours for the taking. Let's find out. So, rightly or wrongly, I am very confident about winning this piece of silverware today. It's about time we put something in the trophy cabinet. This is our chance to do so. Just as a quick update, we have finished the first half of this season. We've got this split off group for the remaining 10 fixtures of the Premier Division still to play. So we'll be jumping back into that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Friday. Let me get my days right. And I think we'll probably be playing the New Saints in the first of our two games left to play against them this season. They are currently 8 points clear of us in the league. We've got to reel the points back in to give us any chance of having a go and trying to take that title away from them. I'm not sure it's going to be doable. We're going to give it our best shot, though. That's for the next episode. For today, though, we do play Port Talbot in the Nathaniel MG Cup Final, and they are sitting mid-table in the division below us, and the division below us is split into north and south, so they're in the south section of that, sitting mid-table. So this should be absolutely a nailed-on win for us, but this is football, and this is even more so Football Manager, and you can never quite be sure. Fingers crossed, everybody. So, with the league still to fight for, you might think I would rotate the 11 against a second-tier side and play a slightly weakened side and hopefully still win the game. But I'm not actually going to do that. And the simple reason is because after this match, before we start the next round of fixtures in the Premier Division, we've got a 2-week break. So that should be plenty of time to recoup any of the tiredness from this particular game. So we are going full bore on this one. Absolutely, my number one starting lineup. You can see numbered 1 through 11. That tells you that the squad that I've got, this is my preferred lineup. And they're all in there. The only injury we've got is Koalik. But he's only sort of a bench player anyway. So other than that, everybody else is fit in the squad. So I've been able to pick exactly who I want. So for today's cup final against Port Talbot, we're going in with Park in goal, Barrett at right back, Roberts at left back, Beaumont and Bodenham in central defence, Berry and Pinchard in central midfield, Reese on the right, Motruck on the left, and Johnson and Lloyd up top, with a bench of Amos, Edwards, Cullimore, Mitchell and Rees. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So considering the occasion, considering the opponents, we've gone pretty forceful, pumped the fist and basically said, do not come back without this trophy. This is yours for the taking. We need to go and do it. So let's see if we can. It's going to be an interesting game in the sense that, I mean, Port Talbot have done really well to get to this point. They're a surprise package. You'd expect like the New Saints or Bangor City or somebody else like that to be in the final with us, but they're not. So we can't take them lightly at all. But ultimately, we've got to be winning this sort of match. We're in a final. We've had a really great run. We're on good form. We've just got to put it back out on the pitch and see if we can break this side down early, and then maybe the floodgates can open and we can get a properly successful afternoon of Football Manager done. Who knows? We'll see. But for now, it's just about trying to find that first breakthrough moment, really. Few shots at goal for both sides early in the fixture. 12 minutes in, there's been a few shots for either side. Nothing specifically amazing so far. But here's the first chance on a highlight. Johnson, the star of our show, puts it over the top of the bar. Doesn't quite get his angles right and wastes the first highlighted opportunity. You can see that Port Talbot, I'm not finding that easy to say, Port Talbot. They are having a reasonable amount of possession, but they've now gone 1 goal down. 18 minutes in, we finally sort it out. Far side set piece The ball comes right the way across the 6-yard box off a free kick, not quite a corner kick, it was a free kick. Mo Truck gets the header on goal. The goalkeeper does well to parry it, but he puts it straight back down at the feet of Mo Truck, who manages to poke the ball home for a 1-0 lead. Hopefully that settles the players down a little bit. We can now begin to show our quality. But it's a Port Talbot clearance from the goal kick, and we win it. Barrett wins it for us down the right-hand side, helped out by Reese, and gets the ball back again, puts the ball into the box. And again, a good header, but ultimately it doesn't quite challenge the goalkeeper. And that's a little bit of a theme so far. Other than the goal that we've scored, we're not quite challenging the goalkeeper enough, it feels like. Port Talbot, they've got the ball on this right-hand side. They switch it across to the left-hand side. There was a good opportunity for a shot. It was blocked, though. They've remained in possession of the football, though, and they've worked it back out to the top of the Premier Division. That's not what I was going to say. The penalty box, for goodness sake. Can't get my words out. It's the excitement of a trophy, potentially. Good defensive block there, down on their left-hand side, our right. Goes out for a throw-in and the highlight dies. It feels like we're making a little bit hard work of this. I mean, our XG rating is superior, having got the goal. We've had a little bit more possession now, so that's growing. Our shots at goal, 13, 6 on target, is reasonable. But the highlights have been a bit few and far between. Again, it's a goal clearance for the opposition, but we win it back. Barrett, again, our right fullback, does so for us and drives forward, passes it on to Reese, who carries on down the touchline, gets the ball in, again, over the top of the bar, and not really challenging the goalkeeper enough. And that's the theme of the first half. We've done pretty well. We've got our goal that the XG rating of 1.02 suggests that we should have. But ultimately, I feel like we should be a little bit more clinical when we have the chances that we've created. So we're going to go and let's change tack slightly. We're going to go hands together. Happy with the number of chances, keep it up. Just lots of positivity, really. At the point where we're winning in the cup final, we should just be happy to boost the morale, keep the momentum of this play going forward, and see if we can get something early in this second half. Johnson with a chance into the box, drops it to the Lloyd, and Reese gets a really good chance, and he basically puts it in the only spot in the goal that he wasn't going to score from at that sort of angle and that sort of distance, and it was straight down the sights of the goalkeeper. We get the ball back again, though. Reese to the touchline, crosses it into the box. Mo Truck has to drift back outside the far side of the box. We retain possession. There's Reese again. Did he move too early? We'll have to check that out very slightly, but I think it might be okay. And if it was, pretty good move. Mo Truck on the ball, drops it back to Roberts, into Pinchard in midfield, comes across to Berry. There's the really good ball. I'm not sure. I think he might be offside looking at it a second time. We'll see whether we get a third highlight or not as to whether or not this is a good goal or not. Did he hold his run? I think he just about did. I think the player in the middle, Lloyd or Johnson, was probably offside, but wasn't interfering with play in terms of what the officials felt. So we do go 2-0 up, 50-something minutes on the clock. So that should see us through. That should settle everything down. We should be absolutely sorted for the rest of this fixture now. It should be a very simple way of just getting through and winning a trophy. Berry on a free kick, just on the edge of the penalty box. Not easy to get this up and down over the top of the wall and down back into the goal, but we'll see how he manages it. Steps up, and he does it brilliantly. Found the gap between a couple of defenders in the wall, put it through that gap at a reasonable height, and puts it into the top of the goal, right into that corner, and the goalkeeper stood no chance, really couldn't scramble across. And there is our quality. 3-0 up. Comfortable victory it looks like that we're getting so far. I'm not sure Talbot have got enough about them to be able to turn this around. We're going to make a couple of changes just to get some fresh legs in and also give a few players a chance to play in a cup final. So Mo Truck comes out. I'm actually going to put my right-sided player Mitchell in there, but he can play left as well when you look in on his attributes a bit. I could switch him and Reese around. I think No, I will do that. It's the wrong Reese. There's two Reeses, and my main Reese is the one that can switch around. So we will do that. Almost my error there. We're going to take out Johnson. This is our superstar. If we go in and have a look at him, he's a young talent, 19 years old. For this level of football, 15 finishing, 15 composure, reasonable physicals. This is pretty good. And you can see he's got 29 goals in 25 appearances this season. Not really shown up in the cup final, though. So that's disappointing from him. We'll put Reese in instead just for finishing the game. And we'll make one more change. And I think we'll make it in midfield just for the engine room, as it were. So we'll take Cullymore and we'll put him in instead of Pinchard. And we will play this side, this team for the rest of the game. So we've got 15 or so minutes to play. A couple of minutes added time as well. 3-0 up. I feel like this is going to be a fairly straightforward last 15 minutes in theory, but you can never quite tell. And it is Port Talbot on the ball at the moment. They've worked the possession well. They've maintained it over on the far right-hand side for them. They're trying to get through the lines a little bit. There was a couple of runs there, and they find one, and they get a cup final goal that really we should not have allowed them to have. We should have been stamping all over some of that, and it was the runners in from midfield. There was one right in the centre point. You saw it there. He held his run, reset himself, and was still in a good advanced position. And the defenders nor the midfielders really picked him up anywhere in that particular period of play. And they do get a goal. Hopefully, it's nothing more than a consolation goal, but ultimately, it's one that we really shouldn't have conceded. And I'm a little bit disappointed that we couldn't properly show our dominance and play out the game and win without conceding a goal. But there we go. We've won the ball back again in midfield. So Lloyd onto Rees, and the substitute makes a big impact. Comes in. It's disallowed, unfortunately. There was an offside call, and it was there. Both of the strikers in an offside position at that point. And I think, again, when Rees is given the ball, he was offside again. So poor play from them, really, to be in that situation when there was enough time to just make the right decisions. We've got a couple of minutes left of normal time, a little bit of injury time. So time is ticking. We've got a 2-goal advantage at the moment. If we could get a third 3-goal advantage, I'll be happier. And there it is. You could feel it coming just a little bit. And Reece Mitchell, the guy that I brought onto the right-hand side in the end, he makes his impact on the game. There is the other side, the other substitute, shall I say, Rees getting involved in play on the far side. It's a complicated team sheet when you've got a Rees and you've got a Reese and you've got a Reece Mitchell. It's confusing like anything, but there we go. We're finally getting through to the end of the game, 4-1. We've had lots of opportunities. We've let them have a few. Well, not let them. They've had a few, which is good for them. But ultimately, we do enough quite comfortably, really, to win a bit of silverware. It's not the biggest bit of silverware in terms of the prestige of it, but nonetheless, it's still something that we can attach our names to within our Journeyman series, that we've now won a trophy at Connors Quay Nomads. As the players celebrate and lift the trophy, the fireworks go off, the tape comes down, and we can celebrate a cup win, which is magnificent. A really good run. Hopefully, it will boost the confidence, leading us into those remaining Premier Division fixtures. We've now got a game coming up fairly soon against the New Saints. We really could do with a win at this point. We have to keep the pressure on them as much as is possible in the latter part of this season. So we're going to go and figure exactly where that falls, and I'll show you that for next episode. But for now, we celebrate a really good trophy win. So, trophy in the cabinet, celebrations underway, but now I have to figure out what's coming up next and focus on that. We're going to give the players a couple of days rest before we focus on what's coming up next for them. But for me, we'll go in and check out the remaining fixtures. We've got 10 to play in this Premier Division, just to see if we can put the pressure on the New Saints. And it is that game that we're going to come back for. Basically, over the next couple of episodes, we're going to play the 2 New Saints games. We might fit another one in there as well, possibly. But that's the plan, just to see if we can properly put some pressure on them. If after that first game we lose, we might just come back and play the last of the season just to wrap it up, because I think that would give them a big enough gap to not to be worried about us anymore after that. We'll see what happens. But next episode, the New Saints away from home, tricky fixture. we have to put the pressure on. Between now and then, we have to play Bangor City and Aberystwyth. If we go back to the league table, you'll see that they are sitting directly behind us, 7 points behind us, both Aberystwyth and Bangor City. So hopefully we can potentially win a couple of those matches and get more points on the board, keep the pressure on the New Saints and keep everybody else at bay and hold on to this second place at the very minimum. But there we go. Trophy in the cabinet. Really fantastic. Quite an easy game ultimately, wasn't it? But you've got to play what's in front of you, and that's what was in front of us. So all credit to Paul Talbot for getting there. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today. We'll be back next episode for a big game. Pretty much the biggest game of the season. Can we sort the New Saints out? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That'll help me get seen by more people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.